All right, guys, welcome to the INBF Canada interview with Miss Magdalena Cieslak. She is at INBF Canada, also an NPAA Elite Pro. She's been competing for how many years, Magdalena?
Since 2012.
Wow, so you've competed with, obviously been doing figure and bikini, correct?
Yes, figure, fitness, and bikini.
And fitness. Okay, excellent. And how many shows have you been doing over the last 4 years?
Oh gosh, if I can count correctly, I do believe so. I've now done nine or 10.
Wow.
Wow. It's crazy.
You're a busy competition kind of girl, and you also have a history as far as like, are you a psychologist?
No, I have my one of my degrees is in psychology, and then my other degree is in education.
Okay. Awesome. So can you give us a backstory of exactly what do you do right now with your career? Because obviously your career and fitness have to mesh to make it, obviously doable. So how does that work for you?
It can be tricky. So I am currently a grade 5 teacher. I have a lovely class of 26. They definitely keep me busy and on my toes every day. Monday to Friday. As far as making training fit into it, it's work-life balance. You make it work. If you want something bad enough, and then you will fit it into your daily schedule. So with me, what I like to do is I usually go to the gym right after I finish work. Over in Airdrie, Alberta is where I work. I don't actually work in Calgary. So myself and one of my dear friends who also competes, Justine, her and I, we usually try to go together and get our workouts done. And then we can go home and relax and, do whatever else we need to do, whether it's prep or, hang out with my other half to be. So, yeah.
That's awesome. Now, you are from Canada, are you?
No, I was born overseas in Poland. Grew up there. I was 12 when I moved to Thunder Bay, Ontario. And from there, I decided to move to Calgary. And that was back in 2006. I can't believe it's been so long already.
Wow. And your English is awesome.
Thank you. The accent still comes out.
But that makes you unique.
Yeah, I guess it does.
So what's the transition of coming from overseas to Canada, being in fitness and all things you've done in obviously Canada and Calgary? Like, do you travel much, or are you pretty much like what happens, or what was the big challenge for you in moving from one country to the next?
Well, definitely the culture shock. And as we know, Ontario has very cold winters. So that was another thing to adjust to, was the weather, the drastic weather change. I wasn't used to layering and 20 layers for minus 25. But it was definitely the language barrier. That was the toughest. I remember coming home in grade 6, because I started grade 6 in Canada, and crying to my mom and wanting to go back and, wanting to quit. Luckily, I had amazing teachers who helped me with my English, and, I am where I am today because of them. Yeah, I lost my train.
That's amazing.
Sorry.
That's amazing, though. Like, when you think about like coming from, obviously when you're born in Canada, you're in the culture, you're submerged in the culture, it's very different. But when you come from overseas and you're like totally changing from Poland to Canada, from cold to a different language, like how was your language when you moved to a different country?
So I actually took 2 years of English in Poland. That was one of the second languages we had to take in school, but it didn't really help, to be honest. I struggled, and I had really good friends here right away, and they would always help me every lunch recess. They would stay in and they would teach me. And my teacher, Mr. Bortuzzo, he was wonderful too. So now, me being a teacher gives me, that empathy for those kids who do have English as a second language and are coming into my class and, I totally understand how they feel. It's wow. I can't imagine. I can't imagine how they feel. It's hard.
Wow. So what was your biggest challenge you had to overcome? And, since moving, or maybe it was moving, but what was the biggest challenge you had to deal with that you had to overcome in this whole process?
You mean moving from Poland over to Canada?
Even in general.
Um, you are your toughest critic, and we are very hard on ourselves, competitors or people in general. So I guess pushing forward with my goals and not giving up at, no matter what life throws at you. And it's definitely been interesting. There's been obstacles, there still are. But you just got to keep going. If you have a goal in mind, go for it. Don't quit. Don't give up. I was one of those people that I've actually watched fitness shows since I was really little. Yeah, and I always admired the girls, and I'm like, I could never do that. and then actually a friend of mine, Anita, she competed, and she's lost a lot of weight. She had a major transformation, and she looked amazing. And I was like, wow, she looks so good. And that actually made me want to finally take that next step and just do it. And so
Wow.
But before then, it was so hard. I would be one of those girls. I would go to the gym. I would go for a week, maybe two. And if I didn't, I was like, well, okay, well, chocolate it is. So I'm telling you, chocolate is my nemesis. It still is. It always. I have the biggest sweet tooth. Guilty right here.
Wow, that's incredible. So your mindset has really been critical for you to overcome some of those challenges, and obviously, when I see you at the INBF shows, you're always got this smile. Your energy is always awesome. Love it. And you're always on your Facebook posts, you're always posting really positive material about your transformation, enlightening material and all that great stuff. And you're always competing on a yearly basis. Like,
I try to do 1 to 2 shows a year. I guess the craziest year was the very first one when I fell in love with fitness. And I did 6 shows in 1 year. Please don't do that, anyone. That is a lot. And it takes a toll on your body, mentally, and even physically. And honestly, by the last show, I was ready to take a break. And I said, never, ever again, as much as I love fitness and as much as I love that body that you get for that one day, I said, never, ever will I do that many shows in 1 year again.
Wow, that is 6 shows in 1 year?
Yeah, it's insane. Thinking back now, yeah, too many. It's too much on the body. It's to diet that way and eat clean that way. I mean, clean eating should be a lifestyle regardless, and it is.
Yeah.
But when you're dieting for a show, you take that to the next level, and it's hard. It's really, really hard.
So you were saying that basically you did 6 shows in 2012 or 2013?
So in the first, I guess, full year. So I started 2012 was my first show. And then I did the second one with INBF Canada in 2012. Because I actually found out at the first show about INBF Canada, the girls backstage were talking, and at the time the show was 2 weeks away. And I remember I'm like, okay, I'm already lean. How do I do this? And I ended up contacting Roseanne Piper, and she was so wonderful and accommodating. And she was like, no problem, we'll get you signed up. We'll do the polygraph. And I was so pumped, and I was hooked.
Awesome. I appreciate those kind words. Roseanne is absolutely amazing. And I'm really glad to hear that was a catalyst for you. But so what year was it you did 6 shows? 2012 or 2013?
Well, I guess I'm counting the first 12 months. So 2 in 2012, and then in 2013, I believe I did 4 more. I did 2 in the spring.
Yep.
And then I did 1 in August and 1 in November.
So in 214 and 215, you did 3 shows.
In 214, I think I only did one.
Okay.
If I was just, my body needed a break.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because 6 shows in 12 months, I can totally see where your body would need a break there.
Yeah, it had a mind break.
So give us an idea of how you train. Like, do you have a coach? Do you do it solo? Like, how does that prep look for you?
So it's changed over the years. At first, what prompted everything was I just wanted to lose weight. I had a goal in mind. I wasn't even thinking about a show at the time. So this was back in 2012. I'm going to say May is when I finally got fed up. And, I said, okay, that's it. I need to do something about this. This 2 weeks at a time here and there isn't going to cut it. Mm-hmm. So I ended up getting a trainer and joining his boot camp, Adam Blackwell at the time. And Adam is the one who helped me lose my initial weight. So I remember I was going to a trip to Mexico and I really wanted that bikini body again. And we did it. I went religiously to his boot camp 5 days a week. The sessions were pretty intense. And so by June I was ready. I lost my weight. I got down to my goal. And at the time, I remember right before leaving for Mexico, I looked at him and I said, Adam, do you think I can maybe do a show? And he's like a fitness show? And I go, yeah. And he's like, let's do it. And wow. I was so excited. And he goes, I'm going to put you in contact with an amazing nutritionist whom I've actually been with since. And now I train and nutrition with Edie Vloswick, formerly Edie Shepherd. And she's amazing. Oh, she's so inspirational. So I've been with her since day one, nutrition-wise, and it's worked. So what her and I, do together, the nutrition, she gives me the advice, the emotional support, it works. And I'm just so thankful that, Adam introduced us. So just to say, my first show, I got ready in 8 weeks. Yeah, I didn't know if that was possible. At the time, I didn't even know that, usually athletes train for about 12 weeks, sometimes even longer. Yeah. So I was like, oh, okay, 8 weeks. I guess we're doing it. And we did it. And I ended up placing. I got third in fitness model. And I was like, and that's when I said, okay, INBF Canada, let's do it. And then I ended up placing in Canada at the time, not knowing a lot about the different categories. So I just went with what I knew. I went with fitness and placed again third. Makes sense to me. The shows were 2 weeks apart. So the difference in body wasn't, I guess, as much. And, I didn't know as much per se. But I was super happy. I know I came in leaner. I went in from there.
That's awesome. So what would you say, you can give for advice to other girls, as far as doing back-to-back shows? Because a lot of girls, they say, you know what, I can't do back-to-back shows. It's too much on my body, but you've been doing it a few times already. So what advice would you give them?
Back-to-back shows. Honestly, it depends how far apart the show is. Mm-hmm. If you're ready and you lean, and let's say you do a show in May, end of May, and there's another show in July, I don't know if I would, to be honest, because you're dieting and then you're trying to, per se, bulk a little bit and then, lean out again. It's hard. If the show, I'd say anywhere between week to 2 weeks apart, that's not bad. That's doable. It's really hard mentally. Personally speaking, for me anyways.
Okay, awesome. Now you're training, what does your weight training and cardio look like in a nutshell?
I'm going to be honest, I do not like cardio. And right now I'm not doing any of it. I usually do a lot of cardio closer to show. I'd probably say 2 months to a month and a half away from show. That's when I really start to do the cardio. I don't like to do a lot of it earlier. because I'm little as it is, and I don't want to lose the muscle, right? So
Mhm.
that's big for me. So right now, nothing. But when I do cardio, it's 5 to 6 days a week, 45 minutes to an hour.
Wow. Okay, that definitely is a little bit of cardio.
It is, yes, and yeah, it can be interesting. You try to.
You must have your music in there and meditation and all your audiobooks and, got to keep yourself occupied.
Yeah, everything's in there for sure. Loud music, just I have to be focused.
What does your routine look like when you start in the morning? What gets you into that mental state, or possibly even in that routine for Magdalena? What does that look like?
During a show or just anytime?
I'm going to say just anytime for off season, in season. What does your morning look like? Your routine?
Coffee. Coffee is my best friend. Definitely. I probably drink more than I should. I'm trying to scale down. But no, I get up and, I take about half an hour to actually get up, and I just, lay in bed and then think about the day and, what's coming up. Then I get up and I'll have my breakfast. So currently I'm having egg whites and just with a bit of Mrs. Dash and oatmeal.
Yeah.
And oatmeal with a little bit of PB2. And that's my breakfast. And, then I'll get ready. I'll have my coffee. And what I like is that my drive to work is about half an hour to 40 minutes, depending on the weather.
Okay.
So that actually gives me time to unwind and, think a little bit more. And same thing on the way back from school or from the gym. I sit in a car and I think. Sometimes I won't even turn the radio on, and that kind of lets me focus, so to say.
Okay. What's one of your most important tips you can give a girl or a guy competing for, like, just competing in general, going into their contest prep? Give them like one tip, whether it's mindset, training, nutrition, whatever it may be. One valuable tip from you.
I'm going to combine a couple. Quick.
Okay.
Never give up. So you have to keep going. Yeah. It's hard. It's a hard journey, but anyone can do it. I've seen it done. I've done it. And another really important tip: don't compare yourself to others. I know it's hard because everybody backstage looks so fantastic and amazing, and they've put in all that effort and time and eating and training and blood, sweat, and tears. Do not compare yourself to others. You have a unique story. You have a journey you went through, and that journey is, important to you, and it should be shared, but don't compare yourself to others. Everybody is just as important as you are, and they worked just as hard, if not harder, to get to that stage.
Awesome. Now, why do you compete? What's your driving force in fitness and competing and working out? What is that main reason Magdalena does that for her?
It's keeping and staying healthy. I remember when I was at my heaviest, I guess at the time I thought I felt good, but now when I compare to what I felt like then and what I feel like now, and, even the stuff that I can do at the gym that I couldn't do before, it's just, it's health. Health is huge. If you don't have your health, you don't have anything.
Mm-hmm. That is so phenomenal. That's so true. Now, how much posing do you practice for yourself before competition?
I've YouTubed a lot. I remember my first couple shows, my fiance now and we were both YouTubing posing practice from the different federations. It was quite comical. How much? Daily, I'd say daily. I wouldn't say an hour a day, but it depends. A couple hours a week.
Okay. Awesome.
I cannot put together a routine. Like if I had to do a fitness routine, that would never happen. I would forget everything. So no, true story. And so when I go out there, I'm in the moment, and I know what poses work for me and what looks good. and I just go with it, because I tried doing that before, memorizing the different ways to
Yeah.
pose, and I catch myself thinking on video, like I've seen it, and I was like, oh, that looked awkward. So I mean, that's me. There are girls who rehearse for hours, and their posing is phenomenal. Like I've seen some amazing posing. I cannot memorize. Not me.
And that's okay. You're kind of going almost like as a free bird.
Yeah, I have to.
Love that. So now what other, I'm kind of curious on, you're kind of getting close that week before the competition, and the things, not like to the detail, but more like in a broad spectrum of what you would do the week before the competition, how you think come show day in the morning, what's going on in your mind, what's happening for you mentally. A lot of girls go through those emotional states, right? And you've been there 9 times, going on 10 on May 28th, and kind of curious what's sort of gone for you. Here's a question. So with that being said, I want you to expand on that and explain how your mindset was on your first show, okay, and even like your whole process for peak week and come show day to where you are now, how much you've grown or what's happened and changed for you.
Wow, my first show, super nervous. Messaging my nutritionist and trainer daily, sometimes 3-4 times a day, and having them reassure me that I'm going to be okay. Terrified that I will trip in heels, which I'm actually still terrified before every show. And it was definitely different. I get anxious easily. That's the kind of person that I am. And I get like that before every show, before going on stage. I get super, super anxious. And then as soon as I hit that stage, bam, here I am. And you would never know. But the week leading up to it, now it's a little different. Now it's better. I mean, I still stress. I try to make sure that I eat all my meals on time, and that I drink that water. So I try to be really strict in following everything to a T as per my nutritionist.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what kind of keeps me sane. Just I need time, and I need someone to I guess tell me what to eat and when to eat it. I could never follow macros and stuff like that. It would be overbearing for me. So I need the structure for myself.
Gotcha. Now, what goes on in your mind right after the show is finished? So, whatever place you've gotten, or if you've won, or if you got whatever place, I'm curious mentally how you paint that picture for yourself and how you're thinking emotionally, psychologically right after that competition.
Well, I'm definitely, I've done well in most of my shows, and you're on a high. So I'm like, okay, when's the next show? And then I remember my fiance was like, oh no, she's doing another one. but sometimes you feel lost, to be serious. You do. You're like, wow, I've spent, 12, 15, 16 weeks prepping. And now what? Lucky for me, Edie always gives me a post-show diet, and, I follow up with her in off-season. Thank her, honestly, because I need that accountability. I need someone to follow up with, because I'm the kind of person that would easily fall off the wagon. I'm not gonna lie. That's me. So I plan the next show and think about it, but then I have to refocus and remember that I still have to eat. Yes, I'm definitely going for that cheat meal, well deserved, but clean eating, just stick to it. Do not go back to eating whatever you wanted, pizza, ice cream, everything all day long, because it will bounce back. I've seen it, and you have to be careful. You have to slowly, I guess, diet yourself back up to your normal weight. Let's face it, stage weight all year round is, not the healthiest.
Yeah. Totally agree. So you went through a transformation, correct, when you first started?
Yes.
Can you give us an overview of kind of that? This is inspiring, and it inspires so many people to hear the transformation. And do you mind sharing that transformation and what you went through and how it all worked for you and that whole process, please?
Sure. So, like I said, I joined boot camp in May 2012, and it was an intense 5 days a week, 45-minute sessions. And at the time, I was always, my highest point, I was 138. So, when I tell people that, they're like, oh, you looked great. And I'm not saying I didn't, but I didn't feel good. My body didn't feel good. And I wanted to look and feel better. So it was intense. So it was until then 5-6 days a week, some days. And then the clean eating came in, and I really, really stuck to it. And I tell you, it really helps, if you live with someone, if they can do it with you as well, because then the temptations are in there, to eat that crappy food. Right. So, yeah. And then, so I got down to 120. So I was about 132-ish, and I got down to 120 in those couple months. Well, May, June, July. Yeah, I guess 2 months. I got down to 120, and then went to Mexico for a week. I still worked out there, and I tried to eat as best as I could. I love Mexican food. Actually, I still have pictures from when I went to the gym there. I remember, I won't forget. And yeah, and then I came back and 8 weeks dieted for the show, and I fell in love with fitness. I just seeing the weekly progress and how your body changes, and I guess back then that was hard for me because I didn't know how to eat properly. And that sounds silly. I guess thinking back now, I'm like, what do you mean you didn't know how to eat properly? Well, I didn't. I didn't know all this stuff about carbs and proteins, and, I still don't know everything, but I definitely know more now than I knew then. And it's easier to eat clean on your own versus when I first started.
That is so, so true. I totally agree with you. So I want to move to the next step, and I want to ask you, so what is Magdalena's big dream? Like, where do you see yourself in the next, 1, 2, 3 years from now, maybe even 5 years from now? What is that dream? What is that vision?
Oh, geez. I really want to, I love my job. I love being a teacher and, influencing those little people. They're so cute. But I also love to get my personal training license. And be able to help, other people as well, not just those little people. And I have been doing that. I've helped a few friends lose the weight, and I've guided them, and they've done well. And it's so rewarding, seeing them and coming back and telling me, and, asking for advice, and me being able to tell them, and having that goal for them be realistic, because it's me, and they know me, and they know that I did this. And versus, an infomercial on TV, which, they look great, but you don't know those people, right? So it's hard. Personal training license, hands down. And, well, I am going into that May 28th show with high hopes. Time will tell what happens. One day I would love to, compete in the INBF Pro Show, and then Worlds. Worlds would be amazing. I can't even describe it. I'd probably cry.
You've worked hard for that, and you know what? It will happen when the time is right for you, Magdalena. You put so much time into that, and the nice thing is you aren't just an athlete that looks phenomenal, but you're an athlete that really is, you're so mentally strong, you're inspirational, you help people. And, when you deliver messages on your social media platforms, they're always intended for good, and improvement. And I value that. I know a lot of people in the fitness industry that follow you value that. And that's one reason why when actually I had talked to Leo about asking who would be the ideal person to bring on for the Calgary show, and the first person that came to mind was you.
Aww.
So that So I actually talked to Leo about that, and you've really gone, worked so hard for so many years, and it's really nice to see your journey, and where you've gone, and you will reach that goal.
Thank you. It means a lot.
Of course, it's a real pleasure, and it's a real pleasure to have you, interview and learn about you, your journey, and share a bit of that story to others, because that story won't just touch us two. It's going to touch many, many more people, and I know there's much more music in you that's going to be shared with so many more people down the road.
Oh, I can go on forever. I can talk.
Well, we can always do future episodes, and and really build off of things, but it's nice to really have people that come from heart, Magdalena, and aren't just doing things because they feel they have to be a certain image. And that's the beauty of what I've always seen in you. And ever since I saw you compete, and in the last competition, and I know as you get better, you keep growing. It's a journey, right? It really is a journey.
Yeah, it's a journey, and everyone has struggles. Mine being my scoliosis, it's ongoing. Going to a chiropractor Tuesday, see what happens, see what they say. But I haven't really been open about it in the past. I've been hiding it, but I have it here. I have scoliosis, and that's there are others who do too, who actually have opened up to me and told me, and it makes you feel like you're not alone.
Magdalena, can I ask something of you?
Sure.
I never knew that about you, the scoliosis. And obviously I want to ask something. I'm putting you on the spot, but please say yes or no. But you really are an athlete that comes from the heart. And if you're open to this, I'd love to share a bit more of that specific challenge you're going through and how you're overcoming it as a story that we can share on INBF, and to inspire other athletes that are going through what you're going through. One thing I'm realizing in this industry of health, it's not just about competition. It's really about changing lives, right? And making a difference. And when I hear what you said today, I can feel emotionally everything you're telling me. I'm in a screen seeing you, but I can see you're almost physically here with me. And that's the beauty of, obviously, technology is a beautiful thing. But far and beyond that, it's, seeing people like you who really do mean good things and good values, right? And your heart is coming from a place of not just you, but bigger than you. And if you're open to that, I would love that opportunity.
So much. Thank you. Yes, I would be.
Awesome. So I'll follow up with you on that afterwards, as far as getting an article in place for that we can share to others, to help other people and inspire other people who are almost in that, probably a stage where maybe, I'm sure you and I both were in a stage in our life where we were scared about things, about expressing them because of what people would judge us on, right?
For sure. That goes through my mind every show. Will they be able to see my back and that it's crooked? Will they be able to tell that my legs are 1.25 inches apart? Yeah. So it takes a toll, and after seeing that chiropractor this week, it really hit me, and I was like, I'm done hiding it. Like, whatever. I have it, it's there, and so be it. I'm just going to have to work a little harder.
But let me ask you this, okay? I'm going to go a little bit on Magdalena here. I know it's a bit off topic, but the thing is what picture do you paint in your mind of yourself? Okay, obviously, I'm going to be a little bit direct here because I care about you. And it's like when a doctor tells you something like that, because I've been in shoes where I've had to deal with not scoliosis, but personal health issues as well, that, that someone would tell me something, and I can tell you're a strong woman, very strong. And what picture do you paint when someone tells you like that, hey, Magdalena, you got this issue, but in your mind, are you thinking to yourself, no, I'm going to overcome this, I'm going to get stronger, I'm going to make like a difference off of this, however you picture it may be for you? I know it's a direct question. It's a bit off topic, but.
No, and that's okay. Honestly, at first I cried, and I knew it was bad. Like, I knew because they found it when I was in kindergarten. I had an amazing chiropractor that adjusted me and whatnot. And, I didn't have to wear that back brace. or whatever. Maybe looking back now, I should have. But what went through my head was, at first, how am I going to ever get to Worlds with a crooked back?
Okay.
But you know what? But then the stubborn Polish girl in me said, you know what? My mom didn't raise a quitter. So I'm going to keep going. And, you know, I have trophies to prove that I've done it and that it is doable and you can do it. And, you know, it's emotional. And at first you're kind of feeling hopeless, but then you got to keep going and remember what you've already accomplished. So I'm going based off of that, what I've already accomplished. And I know that there's so much more in me that's ready to get out there and help and motivate and inspire others. And I would love to share this journey with them and with you and with everyone.
Okay, I'm going to be honest with you. I never expected this interview to go this deep. And I'm actually getting emotional myself just hearing you talk right now. It's actually pretty incredible. And if you're touching me like this and just like you're literally inspiring me to go just work out right now and change and think better and be better. And I thank you for being vulnerable with me on this. I appreciate that. You know, and it kind of took almost half the interview to kind of get deep, you know, and but I feel that the deepness is only going to make, you know, your journey better. And you just saying that, Magdalena, about, you know, the challenge and the fear of what you were thinking, just being vulnerable and just saying that, you know, I can imagine right now you're crushing that right now, because as far as crushing it, meaning like, no, I am going to make this, I am going to make that, because you identified the underlying belief and you're like, no, that is not me. You know, someone says, you know, that's what they told me, but in my own mind, in my own heart, I am this, and I'm going to be that.
It'll happen. You know, whatever is supposed to happen, it'll happen. Whatever I'm destined to do, and whether it is go to Worlds or not, you know, I'm proud of everything I've accomplished up until now, and I love helping people and being able to motivate them. And yeah, that's why I really want to get my personal training license. And I mean, I don't need it, I guess, to say to motivate people, but it would, you know, it would definitely help with the credibility, right? So.
And you will get it 100%. I know you will. Well, Magdalena, I really want to thank you so much for this interview. I am like, I want to keep going. Like we've been going for 40 minutes here, and I'm like, oh, this is like, you're getting me all motivated and like inspired on Sunday afternoon. I want to thank you so much for doing that, Magdalena. And please stay on the line, because I'm just going to actually end the recording here fairly soon. But guys, I just please want you guys to follow Magdalena on Facebook. If you guys don't know where you can find her, where can you, do you have a website on Magdalena, or on Facebook?
No, I don't have a website. I do have my Facebook, and I also do have my Instagram account, and I just opened up Twitter. I'm learning how to do it, but I'm not really good at it. But I promise I'm going to try my best. My Instagram, yeah, it's still my name. I go by Fit Magnus, NPA, or Fit Magnus, Fit Pro. I can't even remember. But I will post it. I will post it for everyone to follow for sure.
That is fantastic. Well, thank you so much for your time on this interview. I really appreciate, you know, you opening up and being you and sharing this valuable wisdom, Magdalena.
Thank you so much for having me, Matthew. I really appreciate it and look forward to this year.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, you can check this interview out after it'll be live this afternoon on the Facebook INBF Canada fan page, linked to YouTube. Please share it with your friends. Till next time, guys, thank you very much for listening to the INBF Canada interview with Magdalena Cieslak. She'll be doing the INBF Calgary show May 28th. Come and watch her get that pro card.